Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with the One Piece discussion that I really did not want to do. I wanted the One Piece anime to become better. I still do. But at this point, I just have absolutely no hope for this happening. And I'm going to explain to you why I think the One Piece anime right now is very, very terrible. There are two small reasons, and then there are five big reasons. And we're going to get to those, okay? The first of the two small reasons is the animation quality. All right, the animation quality in a lot of episodes was just beyond atrocious. A lot of just abusing the still shots, and that's inexcusable. Even in a weekly anime, I get it. Your budget is limited. You don't take any breaks, but if you're going to do something like this, be smart about it. You know? Be smart about it. Don't do a still shot in the middle of an action scene, or don't do a still shot in in the middle of a. You know what? I'm not gonna talk that much about this point because it's one of the small points. Remember, this is one of the small points. Okay. The second small point is everything is so dragged on. The pacing is jeez. The pacing of One Piece is terrible. It really is. Okay. Those are the two small reasons. And the other reasons tied to that, okay? The last one is gonna surprise you. The first reason is the writers. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oda wrote the manga, therefore everything in the anime is based off of the manga, and about 90% of the dialogue is from the manga, right? Yes, that is true. However, when I'm talking about writing, I'm not only talking about dialogue, I'm talking about the structural narrative of the whole arc in the anime. I'm talking about making the arc itself and expanding on it. This is where you're supposed to get bright ideas. Okay? Alright? This is where you're supposed to be like, okay, so this Sanji flashback, I'm gonna expand on it a little bit so that we have better pacing later on in this arc. And the viewers get new material. I'll grant them this. I enjoyed, well, I was happy when I saw the Oruge versus Cracker scene. Even though I thought it was absolute garbage. I could see the lack of effort that went into making that. And quite frankly, it was disgusting and disturbing. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's the way it is. You know? And this brings me to number two. It's the ethic of the people working there in Toei. Okay? The people in Toei know this. They know that their whole shebang has slow pacing and has pretty bad art because of all the still shots that they have in there. Or rather, they don't have because they're still shots, you know? They know this, and yet you have a lot of money going into stuff like episode of East Blue, episode of Sabo, and Film Gold. Those three projects happened in the span of what, 2-3 years? Think about that. The art in Dressrosa that was just unbelievably bad could have been better if they hadn't done a episode of Sabo or a episode of or a Film Gold. I know what you guys are saying, but those were good, right? Yes, they were. But guess what? Guess why they're doing this? They're doing this because they want money and they don't care about the actual storyline. That's why they're doing this, because movies make money. All right? And they don't care about the overall structure. They don't care. That's actually I was supposed to leave this for last, but this just angers me so much. That's why I'm bringing it up. This, in my perspective, is the biggest problem. Toei doesn't care. They don't give a damn. They don't. They just ask Oda to milk new things so they could make side stories and make money out of them. And I just wish they were things that were mostly related to the story. I get it, Sabo's whole thing. There was some new material there, yes, and the animation was different. But it was stuff we saw. Episode of East Blue, it is stuff we saw. And who the heck is thinking about the East Blue right now? We are not in the middle of the new world, but we are in the new world. We are. And that's... It really pains me that I have to say this. But it really degrades a piece of art when the people working in it don't care. And that's what I'm getting out of the One Piece anime. The one person that I think does care, just a little. Actually, no, I'm not going to say just a little because I don't know the guy, but the only person in that animation crew that I think cares, or, writer's crew, is the individual that's casting. Now, I like a lot of the casting choices, but you'd see that there's actual effort going into matching the voices with how the person looks and their personas. There is effort there, but everything else that I've seen in the production of the One Piece anime, it's effort. Well, I'm not going to say effortless. It is laborious to create any sort of animation. It really is, because it takes hours and hours and hours to draw a frame that goes on for a minute or minutes. Sorry, to be correct, it does. It really does. But it doesn't help your case that you're making things like episode of East Blue and episode of Sabo in the middle of all this while you're having issues. It really doesn't. Okay? And it aggravates me. It boils my blood when I see a piece of art like One Piece being just abused by individuals who just care about making money off of it without actually caring about the piece of art itself. It's disgusting. It really is. And Oda should, and I'm sure Oda did realize that Toei is doing this. I'm sure Oda does know this, I'm sure. It's just they're one of the biggest, and they're one of the only ones that we know of that could sustain an anime for this long. I just wish... You know what Oda should do? Oda should just say, fine, I'm going to make One Piece a seasonal anime and give it to Madhouse or Mad Dog. I keep forgetting what that animation company's called. He should definitely do that because the animation in My Hero Academia is just amazing. And yes, it's a seasonal anime. It is. But if I had to choose between this and that, seasonal is what One Piece needs right now because we are so close to the manga. We are. The anime is basically right now, I'd say, in the middle of Whole Cake, and we're at the end of Whole Cake. That's not supposed to happen. We're supposed to be at a different arc. Not supposed to be that close. No. And that was the thing with Dressrosa, and no. The answer isn't stuff every episode. If they want to do it seasonally, if they want to do it continuously and not seasonally, I have a lot of good ideas, and I'm sure if they put some effort into it, they would get good ideas too. You could have done arcs. You could have done filler arcs that are actually interesting for the fans. Think about that. Oda has laid a bunch of stories down, including the Ace story and how the Spade Pirates were formed. If that was made into an arc, if that was made into a 20-episode arc, nobody would argue. It would be anime-only material. It would be canon. That would make the anime fans go wild. The manga fans would go wild too, because this is stuff we haven't seen yet. This is just one example. One Piece has a unbelievable plethora of characters, and yet every single arc we've done, it has to be from the perspective of Luffy and Straw Hats. try making an arc from the perspective of Dracul Mihawk or no, not Gecko Moria. I hate Gecko Moria. Or Jinbei from the past, or make an episode from the perspective of Crocodile. I'd love a Crocodile episode, and it's, you see how these things would make fans happy, and yet all they're doing is going through and I guarantee you this is what the people in Toei are doing to create fillers. They are opening a Rusty Films textbook, looking inside of it. They're like, oh, we need a climax. Okay, but before that, we need a setting. Okay, choose something randomly. Like, oh God. For me, it's just too artificial. It really is. And that's saddening, because the man, Oda, has been working his butt off on this for years, and yet you have these people coming in and just destroying his art. It's inexcusable. It really is. Alright. So, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disagree with me, by all means, comment down below. And until next time, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out.